We'll see how it pans out. The first matchup is Hunter versus Rogue, and it's been a while since I've seen this matchup when these two classes were unanimously the top two decks at one point. Was it already like just under a year ago? Dang,
Yeah.
it's crazy to think about. But
Hey, right before
now it's
GVG,
different.
it was definitely a matchup you saw a lot, and definitely a skill matchup in a lot of ways. Could go either way. For a while, it was like heavily in Hunter's favor. For a while, it was heavily in Rogue's favor.
Right.
Now I have no idea. Honestly, I think it'll come down to how much healing Hyped has in his deck. I don't know if there's...
Farseers.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he even plays the Farseers. I've seen him cut them. I've seen Healbot. I've seen Alexstrasza. But those are going to be the key cards for sure.
Okay. Well,
We just saw
keeps
Big Game Hunter.
Big Game Hunter.
Kept. Okay.
That's interesting. I mean, Hyped is a rogue specialist. Like he really prides himself on, or he just loves the class a lot. It's his favorite class.
Yeah, it's a very interesting key.
Perfect draw.
Yeah, that's timely for sure.
All right. And in the meantime, I haven't seen Zalae play Hunter, so I don't know if he has the if he can switch his mindset, because he's been a very heavy control player, and I wonder if this is more of the aggressive Hunter that has a lot of charge minions, or if it's just more of a mid-range Hunter that you normally see.
Yeah, it's good to see him mixing it up, trying to be a bit unpredictable. SI Agent's going to come down here to take care of Mad Scientist pretty effectively. Mad Scientist, of course, being as balanced as it is, will probably Freezing Trap the 3-drop. Back to Hype's hand.
Well, we can check on it through the magical powers of Spectator Mode. Through the magic powers of
There we go.
Spectator Mode.
Freezing Trap comes down. Alright, so you're going to see a kill command on the SI. Think you're just going to play either SI or BGH here as a minion. I wonder if that Big Game Hunter keep was a misclick, or if he just assumed it was Control Hunter. I think he did assume it was Control Hunter. Or maybe you just need the answer for Dr. Boom. Maybe it's that important. I don't know.
Yeah, it is interesting because, you know, Dr. Boom does synergize really well with not just the damage, of course, but the death rattles on the boom bots give Undertakers 2 buffs, which is yet another synergy for that card, which can snowball way out of control. So it just fits very naturally inside the Hunter deck because it does direct damage. Because I know some people experimented with Ragnaros in a while in Hunter, right? Because they wanted to do damage, but I think Dr. Boom is just a natural fit.
Yeah, Zalae here. This is kind of my issue with Hunter, at least, is you have all these reactive cards like Unleash and Kill
Yikes.
Command that just don't fill out your curve.
2 kill commands on 2 SI7 agents.
So once the Undertaker gets killed, you're not left with that much to work with, which is kind of what happened here. I think we're just going to see Violet Teacher get dropped.
Pay attention, class.
And Rogue's got such a pretty comfortable health. One of the dangers in this matchup for Rogue is that oftentimes you have to use weapon as removal for the early game. And of course, that's damage done both ways. But Hype stayed at a perfect 30.
Yeah, Hype's hand is pretty weak, though, for the next few turns after this. No 5-drop yet. No real great answer to Lotheb.
True.
And
Freezing Trap does have some pretty significant impact here.
definitely. I mean, either that Violet Teacher gets Freezing Trapped or it dies to Lotheb. There's no good option. We might just see BGH get dropped as a minion here.
Yeah, it does sound pretty reasonable.
I wonder.
And then you just kill off the Leopard now. Are you afraid? I mean, I guess, can you be, what, is it really obvious it's Freezing Trap based off the kill commands on the SI7 agents? Because Hype still hasn't tested for it.
Alright, Freezing Trap is going to get procced.
Well, I guess he finds out now.
Yeah, part of the thinking there might be that he just doesn't have a 6-drop, so by letting it get Freezing Trapped, he has a turn 6 play.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. And I think, you know, also in the back of his mind too, I think that's the safest, because if it's Snake Trap or something weird, where he would, you know, he attacked the Leopard Gnome, it would have been a lot more damage. So he needed to be sure, see what it was. It was a good mixture of plays here from Hype. And Zalae, he's able to finally put on some pressure on the board.
Yep, just going to drop some creepers, hero power. Hype's going to need a Phantom Knives to effectively deal with this board. I think Hunter Creeper's going to peck away for a while, for one. Oh wow, that is a huge draw actually. That's going to save Hype 5 life, let him effectively deal with that Lotheb. That Sabotage is going to be a blank because of these Haunted Creepers, but that's a very important pickup.
Well, You know, maybe it's a weapon disarm if his opponent ends up drawing Eagle Horn Bow. Other than that, it looks like Hyped is definitely going to be sprinting for answers next turn.
Oh, there's the bow. That's an important pickup for Zalae here for sure. Hype's getting at a very low life total. That's 6 guaranteed damage. You might even see an Unleash the Hounds. I think we're going to wait on Unleash the Hounds. You want a hero power every turn for sure if you're the hunter.
One thing that is nice, though, as the rogue player, is that both kill commands has been used. So you know that you don't have to worry about the burst from the hand. So if he's holding cards, it's most likely just stuff that has to respond to the board. So how does Zalae kind of budget everything from this point on?
I guess he's considering killing the teacher. You have to go face. Yeah.
Put him at the 10 health. I mean, there's also two things here. Hyped has to stabilize, but he has to figure out a way to kill soon.
Blood Mage is not what he wants to see. That's not going to help the board at all. It's going to enable comboing the Sabotage, I suppose.
Yeah. The outcome is pretty much going to happen the same either way.
That is going to give him 3 more life to work with.
I mean, 3 is just it's so valuable here. Gives him effectively another turn around the hero power. So you need to kill off the 1/1 to just salvage any kind of life that he has.
I'm surprised to see Poison played there, honestly.
He wants the 1/1. Think he cares about the token.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, such a big draw here.
Yeah, it's a huge pickup.
So it's 4 damage, 6, 8 damage. You can put in the 2 health right here.
And even if Hype sprints, he's not going to have the mana to...
You might actually be able to kill. Depends on how these juggles pan out. 1 to the face. I mean, if it hits 2 to the face, the game's over. The 4th juggle. Oh man, Blade Flurry. Oh man. What if like Blade Flurry and just some kind of heal antique healbot or the Farseer gets drawn? It'll be so close. Either way, it's going to be close.
I think that's game.
That's not enough, so Hype's going to be down.
If he didn't play the Deadly Poison, he would have had 1 less minion, which would have been 1 less juggle and 1 less dog. So there was this chance he would have survived. Still would. Nope. Gonna be Handlock versus Zoo.
I think this is his favorite deck. He's relied upon it a lot in the blind pick stage, and Hype should know this too. Now the question is, can Zalae peg Hype on Zoo once again? And I think he can, just because that's what he brought last week. So it'd be one of those things where you just go off the assumption of knowledge and experience and history.
Yeah, Zalae's gonna be keeping Mortal Coil here, and Hyped should be. Hype's hand is more up for. Oh, it's interesting. See, I would have kept Nerubian Egg.
Right, it's good against a lot of the AoE that Handlock could have, especially Hellfire.
Yeah, I think it's more important than Creeper, actually. Nerubian Egg's a very important card for Zoo against Handlock. He's going to opt to look for a more aggressive draw and just kind of force Handlock to have the Molten Giants.
Oh, I think Zalae might be running Sea Giants in this Handlock.
Yeah, it might be Demon Lock as well.
Could be.
Good curve for Zoo, though.
Yeah, very good. Death Rattles on every turn. There is a Dark Bomb waiting on the other end, though, and that's perfect for Zalae.
Yeah, that is going to mess up any chance of a turn 4 Giant, but that's not something you really go for when you're playing against Zoo. Alright, Juggler comes down. Definitely the better play over Haunted Creeper here. You just want to get more pressure down.
Well, let's see what Zalae draws into. Mortal Coil.
Yeah, it's very important. That's going to let him control the board a bit and life tap in the same turn. Wow, that Drake pickup's very good as well.
Oh, man. But there's actually a way to fight back from Hype's point of view. He's got the reversing switch, which flips the attack and the health.
Yeah.
Another pretty important draw, too, Hellfire.
Yeah, a lot of good anti-zoo cards in this this handlock list. Definitely just gonna see a Harvest Golem from down here, I think. Gotta be mana efficient every turn of zoo. Yeah, looking at the hands, it looks a lot better for Zalae right here, I'd say. But yeah, we should be seeing a Harvest Golem come down. Alright, let's lay down to 22. Expect to see a Twilight Drake here. But we might see an Implosion as well.
Implosion actually feels like it can be pretty decent here, considering that the board's not too crazy out of control. Twilight Drake can be easily answered too if your opponent has the Iron Beak Owl. Implosion actually kills off the Knife Juggler.
Zalae is going to go with the Drake. Definitely good to play the slower card first there. Because
Right.
Implosion is going to have the immediate effect later when you're further behind. So, a couple options here for Hype. You can play Knife Juggler and Dire Wolf. Kind of try to go through Drake the hard way. There's some reversing switch options too.
Yeah, reversing switch would put it down to 4 health. And you could potentially juggle that down after the Harvest Golem, but it's not guaranteed. If you had 1 more mana, it'd be really efficient to just use the Dark Iron Dwarf and the reversing switch.
Maybe you let it live for another turn.
Right.
If you don't reversing switch now, the reversing switch isn't going to do much. I guess it can deal 2 damage to Sludge Belcher, but that's about it. He's just going to take the aggressive
Full
line of play.
aggro.
Alright, I like it. Arcane Golem. Wow. So he's playing Faceless combo in this list. This Warlock deck's a bit out there. Definitely might not even be handlock for all we know.
Right. That's interesting. Yeah, you have the Faceless manipulator for the Arcane Golem. You have to be playing the Giants though, right? It makes too much sense otherwise.
Alright, Hellfire is going to put Zalae in a great spot. He's even got the Siphon Soul to answer the Doomguard. There really is no good option for Hyped here. He might just slam the Doomguard and... Well, he might reversing switch and Dwarf, actually.
Yeah, I think if you reversing switch and Dwarf, it could bait out some removal from your opponent on turn 6. It's a pretty reasonable size. You can't even kill it off with Dark Bomb without trading in the Drake itself, so... I don't like necessarily tapping into more cards to try and grab other things because you have a Doomguard already in hand. Oh, well, Doomguard it is.
Yeah, from Hype's point of view, this might be his best chance of winning because...
He's so close to killing him.
I mean, it just forces him to have the Siphon.
So many possibilities.
It's a tough call, honestly, and Hype's running out of time, so he's got to make a decision quick. He's got to flip the Drake, or is he going to go for the full-out aggression? And he loses the reversing switch and the Dark Iron Dwarf. But, I mean, Zalae has the Siphon Soul. And more than that, he's also got some taunt behind it and heal. So it's going to be very difficult for Hype to close this game out. Unless he draws, like, back-to-back finishers here. Second Doomguard. Ooh, that's not bad. It's not bad at all.
Yeah, definitely
Roll
helps.
high on the Implosion. No. Go low.
Classic. Well, yeah, definitely. It looks nearly unwinnable, honestly, for Zoo at this point. Handlock's at a point where he can develop a taunt every turn, heal a bunch.
Oh, the antique heal bot for Zalae.
Yep, sitting on 11 points of life gain. I don't see a way for Hype to climb back into this. You might, I guess you Implosion and play Earthen Ring here.
I wonder.
Just try to be mana efficient.
Yeah, I think
Or maybe a heal bot silence.
yeah, I think healing is actually also okay too. I mean, honestly, any combination of these cards are pretty strong, considering that Hype doesn't have much right now going on whatsoever. And he's going to spend so much just trying to get through the Sludge Belcher. That's where Zalae is going to climb so far ahead. He's going to heal. He's going to equalize up in health. He's going to have a super card advantage. And the density of draws for him is much higher than that is Hyped. So he's going to jump out to a 2-0 lead in just a few turns unless Hype draws his super big powerful cards. Like, I was expecting him to start getting his Sea Giants, but then even then, Zalae has the big game hunter ready.
Yep. Alright, so kind of going through the motions at this point. Zalae's got to think through his options, just make sure that there's no combination of cards that results in him losing. And might even see a double heal here. Probably Drake, Farseer. Or maybe Drake, Implosion. I mean, there's so many options. You don't really have to heal just yet. Gonna see an owl.
Roll 3. It's about as average as you can get. And, well, from here, I don't even know if Hyped has anything in his deck that really can pull him back.
Yep.
I guess it's this is a very curious deck from your opponent. Like, he's seeing Implosion, and I guess he's gonna be confused if Arcane Golem ever comes out too. So these are some cards that Hype can be aware of in the future games.
It seems like a very anti-aggro handlock deck. See Zombie Chow, Healbot, Farseer, Hellfire, I mean Mortal Coils, Dark Bombs, just all the interactive anti-aggro cards that you can be playing basically. Seems like a very good matchup that Zalae got himself into, honestly. Maybe it doesn't play Molten Giant, but definitely seems like a great deck against aggro.
Yeah, so he lined it up pretty well against the Zoo, and I think this is pretty much Hype's last turn. I don't think there's anything he can get. There's no AoE that's usually ran in this deck. Suppose you can tap to find out what the last card is. The Leopard Gnome is not going to do it, so that wraps up game 2, and Zalae already jumps out to a 2-0 lead. Here, we're looking at potentially another 3-0.
Yeah, definitely. Very far ahead at this point, and this is single elimination now, so if Hype loses one more game, he is eliminated from the tournament. Version of Hunter, just card choices in general. Oh wow,
Well, I'm
Undertaker.
pretty sure we see exactly it, and, well, Zalae is running a Death Rattle Priest.
It's going to be Death Rattle Priest against Freeze Mage. So, yeah, it's Hype's favorite version of Mage, and a version of Priest that we haven't seen for a long time. Very anti-aggro. This Undertaker Priest deck has been very, very good against Hunter, traditionally, in decks like Zoo, Shaman, of course. Has a harder time against control decks. Oh, wow. That's a draw. That's kind of the dream for that deck, honestly.
Yeah, to get back-to-back Death Rattles. And but one of the things that this deck does struggle with is if it loses the board pretty early on, it's going to be in trouble because well, one, the deck doesn't draw as well as say Zoo because of that hero power, but two, they cut down on a lot of spells. So if they just get blown out like with a Doomsayer play, it's going to be difficult.
Yeah, well, this game he's definitely going to draw as well as Zoo because that Undertaker Chow turn 1, turn 2 Loot Hoarder, turn 3 Dark Cultist. That draw's insane. We'll see if Hype can keep up with it. No Doomsayer is going to make it very hard to slow down the opponent. I guess you play Scientist here, maybe Loot Hoarder.
I wonder.
Yeah, perhaps the Scientist could stall for time. And the Zombie Chow is also somewhat encouraging because it's like you kill it off, you gain 5 health. If you can survive long enough for some AoE, it buys you time. Mad Scientist might even get you the Ice Barrier to fetch 8 health.
Yeah, I think we're going to see 2 drops being played here from Hype back to back, and then turn 4, an Explosive Sheep plus Ping on the Sheep to sort of sweep the board. But that Cultist is still going to survive through all of that. He's just deciding between Loot Hoarder and Scientist right now, I think.
So the Loot Hoarder. I know people always favor the Scientist because it gives you the card draw and put it into play, versus Loot Hoarder picks up a secret, and you wished you'd played it instead. So when he's playing the Loot Hoarder,
It's to give him an option
he's digging,
for
right?
turn
Trying
3.
to dig for something else.
Yeah, like he knows that Scientist is going to get a secret eventually from, from his deck, but he might as well Loot Hoarder first in case he gets a turn 3 play that's better than Scientist. Maybe he picks up Loot Hoarder. Maybe he picks up Acolyte of Pain. Maybe he picks up a Doomsayer. Something to just play that he would prefer to play over the Scientist on turn 3.
Sure.
But yeah, you're right about that. It does increase the chances that he draws a secret that he would have rather pulled out of the deck with Scientist.
Zalae taking a little bit of time here to analyze the situation. I guess the debate is whether or not he wants to save health on his minions or to play the Loot Hoarder and buff it. Shrinkmeister onto the Loot Hoarder is not something I was necessarily considering. And I think it's just because he doesn't want to take any damage on his minions whatsoever. Kona Cold, a pretty good draw. Ice Block, not what he was necessarily looking for, and I think Hype will definitely resort to playing the Mad Scientist. And again, it's one of those things where at least he has it in his hand. If the Mad Scientist fetches Ice Block number 2 here, then he has both of them in hand, giving him some powerful options. And also, as he can continue to develop, he is looking for a card draw because he definitely needs more answers. After he has Alexstrasza, he does want to be able to follow it up with some kill potential.
Yeah, if he can survive to the point where he Flame Strikes, that's generally going to just take out anything in that Priest deck. Because it does play smaller minions, just so it has more ways to interact against aggressive decks early. But Undertaker's definitely getting out of hand here. Zalae's going to avoid putting Chow to 1 health. And pretty decent positioning against Cone of Cold here. I don't think there's a better way to do that. Yeah, definitely the best way. So now
I have to imagine Explosive Sheep coming out here.
Yeah, definitely. That'll force the heal on Zombie Chow, if nothing else.
Well, I mean, assuming his opponent doesn't heal it. Big Game Hunter is somewhat important too for the Priest, assuming they don't have the Shadow Word Death. But it's another minion for pressure post Alexstrasza, so that'll come down in future turns. But for now, Zalae, I feel like he's just going to try and put more damage on and play one of these 2 drops here.
Yep, I think we're going to see Loot Hoarder come down in the middle and healing the Zombie Chow.
That's a good point. Put it down the middle to play around Cone of Cold.
Yeah, it doesn't play around at this turn, but in the future. You'd usually want to put your weaker minions in the middle.
That's true. But even also, Loot Hoarder in the middle, so that way, no matter how he decides it's Cone of Cold, he has to force a draw as well. Because if he puts it on the left, then there could be opportunities in the future to avoid giving the Loot Hoarder draw.
Yeah, maybe just freeze 2 of the minions and
right.
stuff. Well, Zalae's going to think through his options. He's got a Shrinkmeister he could drop for a bit more power. Maybe that's the play over Hoarder, but nope. He's going to go with Loot Hoarder. I think we're going to see the heal on Zombie Chow. He's considering just Shrinkmeister instead.
Well, it's all about how much pressure you can put. Now, keep in mind that it still is a possibility that it could be a Giant's Mage, too. You have to be careful not to overextend into the board, and as a result, cause yourself to face 2 8/8s that you can't kill.
I see this play where Hyped has 5 mana and he chooses to just Hero Power Loot Hoarder instead of Cone of Cold. This is just why he's so much more experienced with the deck than I am. I would just throw out Cone of Cold there and just use a card I don't need to, whereas he's very patient with his cards. Even at 18 life, Hyped acknowledges, let's just play this slowly, go Blizzard into Flame Strike, save that Cone of Cold for later stages of the game. Or we can maybe play a draw effect, like an Acolyte, and Cone in the same turn. No reason to rush it out.
Oh, man.
He's gonna...
This is a total read that this is not Giant's Mage,
Yeah.
and I guess it's because he's seen enough cards where he can justify it. It's always one of those scary moments, though. If you can't pressure enough, Alexstrasza alone still might be a threat to kill.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
Doomsayer here. I like it. I would Doomsayer.
And Cone of Cold?
Yeah.
I mean, Cone of Cold is much weaker as the game goes on, usually because the Priest can build up a lot of minions, especially because Circle of Healing denies you the ability to get good Flame Strike targets. So Code of Cold is pretty decent here.
Actually, I think he will Blizzard the more I think about it, because you want to use your Doomsayer on a turn where you have follow-up, right? So if Doomsayer blows up, you want something to do turn 7. In this
That's
case,
also a good point.
Hype doesn't have that. On the other hand, we see a lot of Priest decks playing Shadow Word Pain these days, so that Doomsayer isn't guaranteed to go off. So, you know, it might be better to just throw it out now, but yeah, if I'm hyped, I think I would Blizzard and just save that Doomsayer for a turn where there's some follow-up.
Yeah, it makes sense because if he had the opportunity to do on turn 8, it goes into Alexstrasza.
Exactly.
But now, unless he has Arcane Intellect in hand, there's nothing that guarantees him. It's a tough play for sure. The longer he waits, the more likely it is his opponent has an exact answer to Doomsayer. And it's Cone of Cold time.
Alright, there is a chance he draws a play for next turn. Could get an Arcane Intellect and Acolyte of Pain.
Well, in the meantime, Zalae might draw an answer too. Not necessarily the case. Here's another thing too that I'm always hesitant, by the way. I really hate Sylvanas against Freeze Mage. I never want to play it because Sylvanas can easily be manipulated to steal a Doomsayer. Doomsayer activates on your following turn.
Definitely.
So it just takes as simple as a Fireball, and for 6 mana they effectively clear the board. Maybe you can Power Word Shield into something else, perhaps?
I think I like saving it.
You think so?
Yeah, just to get some minion out of Flame Strike range later on.
Okay. Also definitely a possibility.
It always hurts to just do nothing for 6 mana, but I mean, that's the power of Doomsayer versus Priest.
Right.
Almost always it's going to be that effective. Very hard to interact with that for most Priest decks without Shadow Word Pain. He's just going to throw away Aconite to deal 2 damage.
Oh no, I think he's nuking his Zombie Chow.
Alright, to deal 5 damage. Yeah, okay.
Pretty heads up play.
Yeah, definitely. That's actually a 10-point life swing in exchange for 1 card because it's going to deny the 5 health and deal 5 instead. Hyped does not draw follow-up. Very, very good for Zalae here for sure.
Ooh, that Ironbeak Owl.
Yeah, it's a big pickup.
Yeah. It silences past the freeze. I guess Black Knight has nothing else to do. There's no targets really in this deck, are there? Unless they're playing Sludge Belchers.
So Hyped has an Ice Block developed, right? That's his only secret in play?
Yep.
Alright. So that's going to protect him from Burst for at least 1 turn. I mean, he's sitting on 2 Fireballs and that Alexstrasza. That Fireball wasn't a great pickup because it didn't give him a play for turn 7, but that gets him just
that
1 burn
closer.
spell away from lethal. I mean, that Alex is going to come down with an Ice Block up, I think, almost no matter what. So the Ice Block will be popped on the turn that Hype plays Alexstrasza. There's a very good chance he has lethal the turn after that. There is no Shadow or Death from Zalae here. There's no answer to that Alexstrasza just yet. He's going to opt for the Sylvanas Powered Shield right now, protected from Fireball a little bit. Nice barrier. Okay.
Ice Barrier is some ways to stall, give you time. It starts getting a little dicey though, like you said. Those burn spells are so valuable to contribute towards your ability to kill. But it is effectively gaining you 5 health in the process and filling out mana.
I like fireballing Sylvanas here because it's going to take care of the onboard answer to Alexstrasza from Zalae. So without that Shadow or Death, he's not going to have an answer to the 8/8. Most of the time you play Alexstrasza, it doesn't just die. But, oh, there it is. He drew it. Right, so now Zalae's going to have the answer regardless. So we're going to see either Black Knight or Sludge Belcher, maybe just Shrinkmeister Black Knight. Depends on how much pressure he wants to put into play.
No matter what he does though, he's not going to be contesting for Ice Block damage. He's going to be doing 7 maximum.
Definitely.
Now, that's pretty unfortunate for Zalae, cause unless he draws damage like Holy Nova or like a Holy Smite. But since this is a Death Rattle deck, I have to imagine it's less on the spells and more on the minions.
Yeah, it's most likely going to be a Defender Vargas as his best draw. Alright, so I think we're going to see Alex come down. Hype is considering Flame Strike instead. He sees that Zalae had pretty much no plays here. No reason to rush the Alex, I guess. Might as well Flame Strike here, force him
Draw
to
more cards.
Yeah, take your time with it.
Still needs another Frostbolt with that Ice Lance, and he'll have 13 damage.
I mean, Zalae had such a powerful opening for the first 3 turns of the game. I think his best possible plays. And, and just to show like how lopsided this matchup is, despite all that, Hyped is just like seems very far ahead.
Yeah, and no matter how much you heal now, you can't overheal past 30, so Alexstrasza will do 15 damage. And more importantly, Zalae picked up, oh man, Pyroblast! But, like, Zalae has nothing to do. He can't actually pop Ice Block this turn.
Vol'jin.
Oh, interesting.
Well, I guess you might as well throw that down.
I think that's like the first Goblins versus Gnomes cards we've seen in the Priest deck.
Yeah.
It's a great one to have, too.
Shrinkmeister.
6-8. Oh, you're right. Shrinkmeister. You're absolutely right.
Alright, 5 mana Boulder Fist. Shadow or Death his guy. Let's heal up. So Priest has board presence now, but Hyped has the burn spells, and all he needs is, there we go, a way to enable that Ice Lance, which that second Ice Lance will do. So I think this turn you spend playing Pyroblast. He doesn't have to, though. I mean, he's got options. He can Ice Barrier Blizzard. He can Ice Barrier Fireball Face.
Yeah, I think he also needs to weave in some damage, because how much damage does he have total, assuming he play every spell? That's 6 from the Fireball. That's 4 from the Ice Lance, so it's 10. So he has 20 damage of burn. And I guess if he just uses his hero power ping next turn, he's just going to kill him after using the Fireball Ice Lances. So Zalae needs a significant amount of heal, but he doesn't get it. So that's it, I suppose. There's no way for him to gain life, right?
Yep. Hyped, being down 2-0, is going to keep himself alive, bringing it back. So the series is going to be at 2-1. Zalae just needs to win just one game, and it's over. Hyped is going to need to win 2. And it's going to get to the blind pick stage, so it's not going to be any of these predetermined matchups anymore. Players will have to look at their opponent's lineup, their lineup, and just kind of go through that whole mind games process.
Oh man, he had 17 damage, so that's plenty. And it looks like Hyped will get 1 game from this first 3 games. And now, like you said, the blind pick stage is going to be pretty tough. And the lineups are pretty unique, I would say. We don't normally see Priest and Hunter versus like Mage and
Doomsayer, Explosive Sheep. There's a Scientist for the Hunter.
Yeah, I think he kept that and tossed away the other 2. It was a little quick, so we didn't get to see. And then Hype does have 1 card draw with the Acolyte Pain. You want to draw as many cards as you can, generally speaking, in the early game. But this matchup, especially if one that's as much pressure as the Hunter, that can always, like, the reason why it's naturally disfavored is because if it ever gets to the Ice Block stage, where Hunter is pressing in and constantly threatening, they have the hero power to guarantee go past anything, and then pop your Ice Block, and even go beyond Ice Barrier.
So I did opt to keep the Acolyte. I wasn't sure if he would. No Undertaker from Zalae. That's a big deal for Hype. It's a big deal for both players. It's going to weaken the Hunter's draw significantly. Eaglehorn Bow is going to be able to take out the Acolytes. So is the Knife Juggler. I think you do just play Juggler here.
Scientist, especially if you...
Scientist is safer, I guess.
Yeah. It's also just like the additional 2 mana tempo you get for playing the trap.
Hyped is going to go for the Coin Acolyte into Acolyte. This Eaglehorn Bow is going to very cleanly take those out. Oh, Freezing Trap. I think you still bow.
Right.
Maybe Freezing Trap next turn.
It's just because Mage doesn't have to attack with the Acolyte to draw. You can use his hero power over a course of turns.
That's true. Probably won't have the time, though, against Hunter.
Oh, if it's a slow Hunter start, maybe. I mean, those Acolytes are effectively gaining health, too. It's not damage that's going directly towards the Mage. Picking up Ice Block is always... Oh, man, 2 secrets back to back. Picking up Ice Block is always one of these things where I'm happy and sad because, 1, my Mad Scientist doesn't get it, but even sometimes my Mad Scientist doesn't fetch Ice Block and I really need it, and then Ice Block are like the last 2 cards in the deck. And oftentimes those Ice Block turns are really important. Having Alexstrasza in the hand is also key because the game can last long enough where Hyped heals himself as opposed to trying to go offensive if he feels like the Ice Block won't hold long enough.
Yeah, Hype's hand right now is just abysmal. Those back-to-back secret draws are exactly what he didn't want to see. Those are cards that you basically don't want to see until later in the game, along with your burn spells. But the question now for Zalae is, do I kill this Acolyte and play 2 minions, or do I just develop a Freezing Trap and 1 minion? I think he's gonna respect the fact that Hyped just won't attack with Acolyte, so there's a good chance that we will just see the 2 minions played. But you definitely want to attack the Acolyte before doing that with your bow, so you don't worry about juggling the Acolyte.
Yeah, that's a good point, and I think the Acolyte here has served a pretty decent purpose. It's picked up other cards it draws. It's gotten 6 life total.
Yep. It's a lot of pressure in play for Hunter now. 7 power plus whatever Knife Juggler ends up doing. I wouldn't be surprised to see a Frostbolt Loot Hoarder here, to be honest.
I mean, Cone of Cold is not necessarily stopping a lot of the damage, just because the Knife Juggler can still do stuff, even if it's in a frozen state. So, taking care of it now. Not to mention that Loot Hoarder can also dig deeper if it gets a card draw.
Wow, another bow. We're getting very close to the high main turn. Zalae is going to be slamming that next turn, which is pretty much going to force Hype to freeze every single turn of the game after that. We'll see if
Go
he
about this though.
I wonder.
probably freezing trap Eaglehorn bow attack face with everything. Don't want to let the freeze mage get a draw off the Loot Hoarder.
That's true.
Hype will still be able to by pinging it later on, but that's not.
It's going to cost him 2 mana to do that.
Yeah, exactly.
I like that too. Even though I guess if your opponent does end up going for like some kind of AoE, and you lose your Mad Scientist, you don't get another trap. You lose, I guess, the opportunity cost.
Maybe you just hero power
Yeah.
and play freezing trap and just don't even worry about the bow.
I think with Mad Scientist up, though, I think having traps up is just too good to pass up as the Eaglehorn bow. Because then you're gaining additional damage every single turn. Another secret.
That is so unlucky. Well,
He's got ways to life gain, too. I guess that's effectively what he can do. Also draw, too, into more cards, Arcane Intellect. But is he taking too much damage?
definitely expect 2 of his mana to go towards killing that Loot Hoarder this turn. He's going to choose to just have it sit there instead.
Yeah. Cone of Cold next turn will be able to help him stall, kill some stuff.
Makes sense.
Alright, it's high main time.
Or Huffer.
Or is it Huffer time? I mean, he sees a second secret being played, right? Or is there 1 secret up or 2? I can't really tell.
Just 1 for Hyped, I think.
Okay. Ice Barrier is pretty important. It's effectively putting Hyped at 26, where she's going to lose 4 of it this turn. And just any kind of health gain install is really important for the mage here. Hunter's going to be putting on the same amount of pressure every single turn.
Yep, high main comes down.
So uncomfortably, like, Hyped can't draw and stall. That's normally what you want to be able to do.
He might consider fireballing that high main now that he has that option.
Right.
Set up for the Flame Strike. That does mean, you're taking a lot of damage this 1 turn, but it also means you'll have a clean board. Taking up to 13. Jeez.
So if you fireball the high main, and you ping the Loot Hoarder.
He's gonna go for Cone of Cold. This is safer, honestly. It's just so much damage otherwise.
It would have been 8 damage remaining on board. It's just too much, I think. Or yeah, with the hero power, it would have been 8 damage.
Second secret for Zalae. The help of our production crew. I think we're gonna figure out what that is pretty soon.
With the powers of spectator mode. No. Did it not work?
I like how we just call the card Huffer. Like the other beasts are just irrelevant, which they are. It's always Huffer.
Well, Leox sometimes is pretty powerful too. Just because you can put out damage if you have, because you might have like a Frost Nova board, so there's a lot of build-up of pressure.
Yeah.
Hype's still in an awkward spot. Flame Strike will leave 6 minions worth of damage on board. And with the hero power and the bow, that's 10. That's 5 health remaining.
Maybe you fireball the high main and play Ice Barrier.
You still don't even have Ice Block up. It's the scary part.
But could you die?
You could die, because if you Flame Strike,
You'd go to 10 on board if you
And
play
then-
Ice Barrier or Fireball.
right, and if he has Kill Command, that's death, because he has the Eagle Horn Bow and the Hero Power, so it's 5, and he has a Kill Command.
Maybe I missed doing. Maybe I do the math wrong. Hold on.
So there's 6 damage on board, so we'd be at 10 health.
I
And then you have the Hero Power plus the Eagle Horn Bow, that's 5. And then Kill Command's an additional 5.
out on me.
If he had a Kill Command. So it'd be 16 damage if he Flame Striked. This is assuming Zalae has...
Oh, I'm not saying Flame Strike. I'm saying Fireball to Jaime.
Oh, sorry. My mistake.
Oh, he's banking on drawing. Freeze. He's gonna leave Jaime alive.
Oh. There's a Lotheb in this Hunter deck.
That is the single best card Hunter could have drawn. After rolling Huffer. Yeah, that's gonna do it, I think. I don't see a way for Hype to come back.
Well,
He could draw exactly Frost Nova, but that's it.
yeah, Frost Nova is for what he can draw here. Interestingly enough, I think because Zalae ordered the secrets the way he did, if Hype needs another draw, he can attack with the Loot Hoarder and it will die.
No, the Freezing Trap came down first, I thought.
Exactly. So the Freezing Trap will like reorder it, and then it will like pretend to attack, and then the 2 damage will activate.
No, if Freezing Trap was played first, it'll...
Pop
The
it back.
Hoarder, yeah, the Hoarder will go back to hand, and then Explosive Trap will go off.
Oh really? I thought it was one of those things where, or maybe it's Misdirection and Explosive Trap, right? Misdirection is like
Yeah, it might be
if you
that.
attack into the hero and then before if it lands its hit, it does the Explosive
Yeah,
Trap.
Misdirection is
Okay,
the one that's that way.
Well, his Ice Block's not popped, so he does have a way to gain health this turn, or if he effectively wants to Hail Mary. But it looks like Hyped is pretty much on his second to last turn here. If he plays the Ice Barrier, he'll be at 15 health effectively.
Still gets popped.
Still gets popped.
So what can you draw with Arcane Intellect? Is there any way to be in this game?
Arcane Intellect, you need to get Frost Nova, Doomsayer, and then another Ice Block. Because then after the Ice Block, you need to... Because what happens is, he's going to pop the Ice Block. You're going to need to stall and survive another Hero Power.
Yep.
And then you need to bounce yourself back to Alex Drives with 15.
Seems like it.
What to do? What to do?
Alright, well,
Considering attacking. Wow. Or no, he's gonna ping. Okay, this makes a lot of sense actually. You don't want to let Leopard Gnome be alive. Because then if Doomsayer goes off, Leopard Gnome kills you on your turn.
Right.
Because Ice Block won't proc on it, so. Yeah, plan here is to draw an Ice Block exactly.
he's got a couple of draws to do it. Oh wait, never mind. There's probably no chance that Doomsayer pops his turn, right? Actually, this is a little bit interesting. There's like too much damage on these minions. Ice Block will be at an uncomfortable level unless you want to give up the Eagle Horn Bow.
Yeah, I mean, there's no reason you wouldn't give it up, I think.
Right. You're just so close to I don't think the charges matter as much. So the plan is to whittle down Mage to 1 health, and then Hero Power, and then kill off the Doomsayer.
Yeah.
And then after that, Hyped will have the opportunity to draw a card. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like he can attack the face at all because the Explosive Trap will kill him. He's going to have to trade with minions instead.
Definitely. The first one's going to get Freezing Trap, so he's only going to get one of those draws.
Oh, it leaves him at 3 health, and he keeps his weapon charged.
Whoa. That's gives Hype the potential to freeze
Right.
the Hunter. I roped off a Web Spinner. Oh my god, Ice Barrier keeps him alive if he clears the board.
How does he clear the board?
I don't think he does, but it could.
Okay, so Flame Strike does 5 damage to everything. No, there's no way. There's no way to stay alive after you Flame Strike. Okay, so he's gonna try to attack and draw into a Frost Nova.
What to do?
Oh wait, it doesn't activate Explosive Trap. So, oh, Snake Trap? Oh, we were talking about Explosive the entire time.
Yeah,
Oopsie
production
daisies.
guys never showed us what it was. Alright, Loot Hoarder is gonna... Not sure why we're killing that one. Shouldn't we kill Haunted Creeper?
Guess because the power of the AoE would have been weakened. Arcane Intellect needs to just get Ice Block. Ice Block it is. Ice Block and an Explosive Sheep. This is his best chance here. So Hunter will drag him down to 1 health. That'll mean that Zalae is pretty much guaranteed to win here because Ice Block has been popped. There's no way to safely Alex Straza.
Yeah.
And that means you can't stall. Oh, wait, unless... No, you just can't gain enough health. Because the hero power now kills him next turn, guaranteed. You actually don't have to do anything here if you just let you just pass.
Might as well play Web Spinner.
Sure.
Get King Crush.
And from here, I think even if Hype draws, like even if he freezes both ways, like freezes the weapon and the board, he just dies to the hero power. Frost Nova was what he looked for. There is a way to bait it if you Frost Nova and then Ice Barrier, and let your opponent misplay into it by attacking, but that's going to do it. So Hype, the runner-up from previous week,